when life gives you lemons, or maybe mangoes. What do you do when life gives you lemons? Well, growing up, my grandma had two humongous mango trees. I know, mangoes are nowhere close to lemons, but keep with me because all things can have their sour sides. If you had the experience of ever caring for a mango tree, you would know that it also comes with an enormous amount of leaves, so many that once you rake them, it still looks like you haven't even started. The fruit are beautiful and would come in waves of abundance. They would turn from shades of green into hues of the most beautiful rainbow colors. But at the same time, if you did not get to them in time, as most of them grew quite a long ways up, and you also needed to be an amateur acrobat just to finagle the fruit down carefully, and of course use a pole that was straight up MacGyvered, the distinct overripe fragrance was definitely one that is truly unforgettable. So when I think about the idea of what happens when something on the sour side lands in your lap, I think back on what my grandma did. She made the most broke-them-out pickled mango that could both make your mouth water and your jaw hurt all at the same time. She would cube and freeze them as a refreshing snack or to put into drinks. She made undelicious mango bread where the aroma of freshly baked bread wafted through the neighborhood long before my little hands and legs could even make deliveries house to house. I guess it is all part of this big life. There are seasons and all can be special depending on how you look at it. There's a story about a farmer and a horse that reminds me of that. There once was a farmer in a small village with a single horse who helped him earn a living for his family. The other villagers constantly told the farmer how lucky he was to have such a great horse. Maybe, he would reply. One day the horse ran away. The villagers came to the farmer to express their sympathies. "Your horse ran away. How unfortunate," the villagers exclaimed. "Maybe," the farmer replied. A few days later, the horse returned home with 10 strong wild horses in tow. "What good fortune! What incredible luck!" the villagers crowed. "Maybe," the farmer again replied. The following week, the farmer's son was riding one of the wild horses in the fields when it kicked him off and broke his leg. The villagers arrived to express their dismay. "What dismal luck," they said. "Maybe," the farmer replied. The next month, a military officer marched into the village, recruiting able-bodied young men for the war. The farmer's son, with his broken leg, was left behind. The villagers were joyful. "Your son has been spared. What beautiful luck!" The farmer simply smiled. "Maybe." This reminds me of the idea of Ichigo Ichie. Ichigo Ichie is a Japanese proverb meaning one lifetime, one meaning, where every fleeting moment is special and unique. It was derived from the tea ceremony, understanding that every cup, the company, and all the factors that make it come into fruition can never be repeated in the very same way, because life is filled with change and so many variables. So it asks one to purposefully acknowledge and embrace each present moment with deeper understanding, empathy, compassion, gratitude, and appreciation, with less judgment, less fear, less sadness, less anger, because it would never happen again. To purposefully and gratefully live life in the moment, because once it goes by, there will not necessarily be another in the same light. Even the things that can be thought of as boring and everyday or common experiences that we may take for granted, even the most difficult experiences, it can all be beautiful and meaningful. So, when life gives me lemons, I was lucky to be able to learn from my opa-chan. I would happily rake her leaves under the cool shade of her branches once more. I would happily be the best taste tester that ever was. Her food was exquisite. I would happily enjoy delivering door to door even before Grubhub was even a thing. She knew that it was more than mango bread that I was delivering. And I would happily do my best to share all of the goodness that I can make of it with others. Because to me, I see this as pure magic. To be able to change and transform one thing completely into another. If life gives you lemons, mangoes, fruits, or anything in abundance, this will be the next Aloha Box theme of June. We hope that you enjoy. Maybe.